Hi, and welcome to the recording of the calendars and appointments workshop for this week. We'll be making it start shortly when everyone's here, so please hold on 1 second. Okay, so the first thing I want to say about calendars is they are one of the trickiest parts of high level to set up. Yep, they frequently catch me out still. Yep. So my solution when a client comes to me saying this calendar's not working is always go to tech support. Yep, the guys there will quickly solve any issues you've got with the calendars because there's so many moving parts to the calendars. Yep. So it's my go-to solution. If a client comes to me and says, "Can you help me solve this?" I'll make a recording of the issue on Loom or Bonjoro and just ping it across to tech support, and they fix it within minutes rather than me spending half an hour or you maybe spending a lot longer trying to fix it. So don't forget on MarketerM8 we've got tech support down here, the little blue button. Yep. Click on here. Ask a question. When you first ask a question, it'll bring you to the AI solution first. But you can ask to speak to a real person, and then I would just like write a short message and attach a link to your short video screen share, and then they'll come back and either fix it for you or tell you how to fix it. So that's the first thing. Be prepared that calendars have got the most moving parts, and it's very easy to not quite align everything right, but tech support are there to help us. Okay, so just move that out of the way. There. So first of all, I'm going to show you what it actually looks like to use, and then we'll dig into the settings later on. Okay, so if you come to, when you log in, if you go to calendars, and what we're looking at here is my calendar. So anything in grey you see is where it's synchronized from my Google Calendar where I'm busy. So that's showing times when I'm busy on my Google Calendar or your Outlook calendar or your iCal calendar. Yeah. And then here you'll see where meetings have been booked. Okay, so these are all meetings that have been booked. One of two ways, either a, a person has booked it via an online form or it's been manually booked. So typically we use it very like Calendly for meet calls and meetings, and also we're using it today to host this class. So in a class, you can have any number of participants, not just one-to-one. And a new feature, like I mentioned before, Steve, is services now. The services have just had a big upgrade. So here's me just testing it out here with the services. So we'll look at services towards the end of this workshop. So when you come in and look at your calendar here, you'll see anything in here, the blue ones have been scheduled through HighLevel. Okay. So firstly, how do we actually book appointments on here? Two ways. Okay. The first way is the traditional way, like Calendly. If I go to one of my calendars here, I'll get the link. Click on here. I just grab the copy. This is a permanent link to the calendar, so I can send this link to a prospect or a customer, send it an email, and then they can book a call with me just like that. Yep, that's a calendar booking page. So I like to put you can put, it says to put a logo there, but it looks a bit, I think it looks more dynamic when it's got a picture of you there. A little description of the meeting type. They could choose, based on calendar availability, they can choose times with you. And then we either have a default booking form here, which is name, email, phone number, message. That's a default booking form we can have, or we can pull in a custom form and ask whatever questions you like. So we can really customize that. See here, I'm asking, do they want to join my newsletter? Yes or no. Proactively asking them to opt in or not. And then when the meeting is scheduled, that marks it as confirmed. Okay, so whenever appointment is confirmed, that's really important to us because that later will trigger the automation. So that's how somebody would book it online, just like Calendly, very similar to Calendly. The other way is, and this is what I find really useful. If you go back here, I'll show you again, go to calendars. So you might be talking on the phone with a client, or you might be even be in a meeting with a client and have your mobile phone app, the lead connector mobile phone app, and then you can actually schedule appointments yourself. So if I wanted to schedule one with Steve here, yeah, I can schedule a meeting. search for Steve. Okay, like so. Choose what type of meeting we want. Yeah, yeah. Uh, Appointment title is really important because this is what's going to drop into the on your calendar and their calendar. So I would always start it with the recipient's name, the Julian, and have a discovery call. Right, so it's going to be scheduled with myself, uh, and then here I can choose a time. Now, what's really neat here when we're doing it manually is the default one. Yeah, if I say, "Oh, Steve, can we do a call on?" Let me just load up. If we could do a call on Wednesday, it's looking at my Google Calendar now for availabilities. So it's giving me the options of when I'm available, which is great. But sometimes you might need to override that. So if you look here, yeah, it won't take bookings on a weekend. But say I wanted to override that to do a meeting on a weekend, I could go to custom here, and then I could choose a call on Saturday, Sunday, for instance. Yeah. And choose the exact time. I could make 4 a.m. in the morning if I wanted to. Yeah. So you can really customize your meetings. In addition, your meeting location as well, we can customize that as well. So the default for me, and I'll show you later, is a Zoom call. Yeah. But say you want to, if it's an in-person meeting, so if you're a sales rep out and about, it might be an in-person meeting, you could actually customize it to put in the meeting address location. So it's not just online meetings, but offline meetings as well. We can schedule. And when you book it, again, that will confirm the appointment. As I say, confirmed is really important for us later on for the automation we'll see. So that's how we can use two ways to book appointments, using online forms or in person or over the phone when we're talking to someone one-to-one. Now, often people want to rearrange an appointment. Yeah. Again, when they get all the reminders, which you'll see in part two, they can automatically click on a button to reschedule for you. So sometimes I'm working on the calendar and I'll see an appointment jump from here to there as clients are moving appointments when they get reminders, which again saves me a huge amount of time having to rearrange it manually by back and forth emails or phone calls. And then the other way is say a client phones me or emails says, can we change the appointment? I could actually click on this appointment here and drag it to another day or time. So I can rearrange the meetings on here. And when I do that, it basically reconfirms the meeting. So it'll trigger a new confirmation email with a new date and time. Yeah. Uh, so that's really, really handy. One of the pitfalls to watch out for is don't try and start rearranging it on your Google Calendar. Yeah. So if you rearrange it here, it will automatically move on your main calendar, your Google Calendar, your Outlook calendar. It will move it. If you move the appointment on your Outlook calendar or Google Calendar, it will not reflect back on here, so it won't move it on here.
Right. Okay.
That makes sense. Just watch out for that one.
Yeah.
Any questions so far before I rattle on? Anything, Atticus? No, you're good.
Nothing in the chat so far.
Are those the new features?
No, that's always been there, Steve. Yeah.
Well, I've just
Yeah.
learned something then.
I'll show you where a new feature which might look different to your setup here. If I go to click on a new appointment, this is a traditional sort of calendar type meeting. You see here a service appointment. So by default, you won't see that.
Right.
If you need the service appointments module, which I'll show you later on, you'll have to request it from us here at the agency. I think they sort of hide it from general view because it get really confusing to a new person starting. Yeah, but this one does the general meetings because I'll show you how to set those up. But you'll say the service appointments we'll look at later on. So when you schedule your meetings in here, we've then got the appointment list view here. So you can come in and do selection, see what calls you've got throughout the day. Yeah, as you're doing the calls, you see they're all confirmed, obviously. As you're doing the calls, you can change the status. Okay, if someone cancelled, if they showed up again, if you're using this, then later on, all the reporting works. Yeah, you can see how many calls you had, how many people showed up, how many people didn't show up. Yeah, so use that. In addition, these can all be triggers in our automation later on. Yep. So for instance, a no-show could be a trigger. So you got an appointment confirmed with somebody, they don't show, you can move them to no-showed, which goes into your reporting. But equally, that could trigger an automation then to ping them a message or email, WhatsApp or text, say, hey, we missed our call. Would you like to rebook? Yeah. And you can send a whole series of reminder emails or whatever until they book. As soon as they book, you stop those reminders. Just shows you the power of the automation kicking in there. Okay, that's the appointments. So how do we set up these appointments? These are all set up in calendar settings. Okay, and you see here I've got a number of ones. So traditionally I'll start off with a 20-minute discovery call with a prospective client just to see if there's a good fit. If there is, then I'd be looking to have a longer 1 hour discovery call, strategy call. And then I've got other meetings for client calls, etc. So you go as many as you want here. As I say, we're even using class bookings for the calls such as this. But I'll quickly show you my discovery call here, the settings. So here's where you edit it. Here's where you share the calendar. A new feature is troubleshooting to help you solve um, any issues, and you can deactivate the calendar, duplicate it, etc. The main ones are editing here. So here's where you put your logo. I like to put a picture, give it a name, a description, uh, group. You don't need to worry about a group unless you want to group them together. So somebody could go to one page and choose between, say, 3 or 4 different options. Here's a default meeting invite title. Let's say I always like to start with the person's name because that's going to appear in your calendar and their calendar, then my name, then the nature of the call. Yeah. Meeting distribution. You can make yourself, yeah, so that is more to do if you've got sort of sales team rep. You can optimize the distribution of the inquiry calls coming in. See here on this calendar, it's only me. It's high priority as ever. The meeting location. So in your user profile, you can set which video tools you're using. You see here, I've chosen Zoom for my calls. But equally, it could be you could ask the booker for how they want to meet, things like that. So you got all your settings there. Or it could be just a phone call. Yeah, you might just do say you'll phone them at 12 o'clock or whatever time. That's the first page. Then you got your availability. Yeah, so this is the availability of the calendar. Normally, it's sort of days of the week, but you could make this calendar specific to a specific event or a date. Uh, again, this is an interesting feature. You can make yourself look busy. Yeah, so if you've got a lot of capacity, you might say, "Oh, hide 50% of them so it looks like I'm busy." You can do that. These are important settings here. Okay, so the meeting duration is obvious. This is a 20-minute call. Yeah. I'm glad they just changed the name of this, which is better. The slot interval. Okay, so this will say if I've said the calendar's open between 9 and 5, it'll give options to book every 10 minutes. So 9 a.m., 10 past 9, 20 past 9, etc. Here we got minimum schedule notice. Okay, so I make it 1 day. I don't want people booking calls on the same day as me. Yeah, if you leave that at 0, then you could have it where someone books a call with you 10 minutes later. It can just catch you off guard if you're on your lunch or in a meeting or whatever. So I prefer just put 1 day in there, but some clients put maybe 4 hours. Yeah. Date range, yeah. So how far into the future do you want people to schedule calls or allow them to? I've got 30 days there. I've got maximum 6 bookings per day, 1 bookings per slot. Again, that becomes important. Say you've got a team of sales reps. Obviously, you can have more than one call at the same time. Uh, Pre and post buffer time are important. Yeah. Just give yourself breathing space between calls. If it's back to back, it can get quite intense during the day. I've tried that; it doesn't work very well. So give yourself breathing space. Here we come to forms and payment. So, uh, as I mentioned before, it comes with the default form, name, email, phone number, message. But I'm from the forms in the settings, oh sorry, sites. I've created a bespoke form where I can ask bespoke questions. Yeah, to qualify people before I speak to them. Uh, Here, before you can book, the first step is you choose a time, and then they fill the form in to book the call. Add guests is quite a useful feature. They can add guests, name and email there. Um, this is a new feature here. You can send forms to guests. That's quite neat, actually. I've not used that yet myself. Yeah. Or you can require guests for bookings. Confirmation page. So I'm sending to a URL on my website. Thank you for booking a call. Yeah. It's useful there. You can put a video in there introducing yourself. So by the time someone comes on a call with you, they've seen you on a video c- talking to them. So that could be useful. Uh, This is auto confirm new calendar meeting. So again, for me, as soon as somebody books a call, it's confirmed. But sometimes you might want to review the request before you approve it. Yeah. Here we can take payments if you wish. So if you do the Stripe integration, then you can take payments for calls. You want to do that? Then notifications and settings. Again, all this bit here I handle in the automation workflows. But you can have a default email going out here if you wish. This is important to me here. Allow Google Outlook Calendar to send invitation. So just like when you book a flight or a hotel room, whatever, it appears in your calendar. So if we let Google or Outlook send them their template email, it populates their calendar for them. It's quite nice. And here it's about are you going to allow people to reschedule? Are you going to allow people to cancel? Yeah. You just work through the little menu here, yeah. I just leave that standard. I just leave that standard, and then customizations. You can change. I would just stick with this as it is. Yeah, that's what I've got set up. I don't think I'm not using that one at the moment. I think that's more to do with group when you've got group bookings. I just leave all these standard to be honest. And that's the settings. That's the settings pretty much for the calendars. Does that make sense, everyone?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just come. I'll just come back here quickly. To create a new calendar here, you see all the different types we've got. So personal booking, one-to-one ones, round robin, you've got sales team, class bookings like we've used today for multiple participants, collective bookings, where you might have to have two members of staff available for a meeting with a prospective client. So it's checking both of your calendars before it'll allow them to book a call. Yeah. Service bookings, which we'll look at later on. And event calendars if you've got a particular event on. So pretty powerful, really, all that selection of calendars there. Um, yes, what can I say there? So that's the calendars there, and we'll come to services later on. Okay, so all the calendars are going to do is basically create the meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Itself, it's not going to send any emails to confirm them. That's the second half of the setup. Yeah, so that's the first half of the setup. The second half is we'll do that in the automation. So go to automation. 1 second. And I'll show you what I've got here set up. So what I like to do is in your workflow, just set up a separate folder to accommodate all the different calendar options here. So you see here, automated appointments, automated follow-up. So for all my calendars, these are all the automations I've got set up. Okay. First of all, I'll show you how to set up a default one before I show you the details of what I got here. If I go to set up and create a workflow, okay, now the great thing here, we've got a template we can use. You go to select a template. Oh, this has changed a bit. Hang on. Right, I think it's down at the very bottom. Maybe not. 1 second. So see here, customer appointment confirmation and reminder. So that's a template we can use. Choose template. So again, in a couple of weeks, we've got the workflows and automation workshop where we go into this in much more detail. But to give you the idea what goes on here. So for this one, the trigger here, workflows work by triggers and actions. The trigger here is the appointment being set. So I click on here. And the moment it's looking for any appointment which is confirmed. You remember I said it's important every time a meeting is booked, it's confirmed either manually or online. So that is a trigger. We'll use filters now to narrow it down to the individual calendar. So if I go to my calendar, my 20-minute discovery call calendar. So this trigger is now going to trigger when any meeting is confirmed in my discovery call calendar. Just save that. So that's set up there. And then it's just a series of actions because this workflow was triggered by the appointment. It knows the date and the time and who the appointment's been set with. So based on that, we can customize it all we like here, which is probably more powerful than Calendly. So first of all, we're going to send them as soon as the meeting is confirmed or reconfirmed if the date is changed, if someone's changed the date, we just got a confirmation email. So obviously that's set the from name, the from email. Yeah. Typically, what I'll be doing here is I'll take that out like that. And as I mentioned before, the trigger here is the appointment being set, so the workflow knows who the appointment is with. So I click on here like that, and I go to appointment, the appointment data. I scroll to the bottom, assigned user. So whoever's been assigned to this appointment, in this case, it can only be me. And I can pop in their full name like that. The from email. Again, if I go to the appointment date, I'm pulling in it knows who this meeting's been booked with, in-house, as it were. Pop in the email like that. Subject line here. So you can customize that. Appointment confirmation with, for instance, I can personalize it. Again, you go to appointment, signed user, might be something like this. Pop in the full name. Appointment's been confirmed with Julian Mills. Here's a template text it gives us this. So hi, first name. Your appointment's been confirmed for start date and time. So this is all just merged in. So if I want to replace that, you see, it's all you do. Go to here again. I go to the appointment, and I've got the start time like that. Yeah. So that's bear with me a second. So you just customize it with the data the system already knows. So I'll put in an appointment, start time on, and pop in a date there. You just play with this, and it's important to test these things as well. Start date like that. Let us know if you have any questions in the meantime. When it is time, please use this. If I'm using Zoom, for instance, watch out for this little bit because I'd strip all that out. And what I'm looking here is I go to appointment. You're looking for location, meeting location. So whatever is your default meeting location, it will drop into there. For me, it'll be a Zoom link, but it might be Teams for you, or Google Meet, or an actual physical address. Or yeah. And give people the option to add it to their Google Calendar or their Outlook, or cancel and reschedule. Yeah, it really is as simple as, I mean, they're already pre-set up for us. But for instance, if I put in here, if I wanted to drop in a cancellation link, it's all contained within the appointment settings here. You'll see here, cancellation link. I've got the cancellation link like so. What I would do is Control X that and type in cancel, and then just make that hyperlink like that. Paste that in like that. Just put that link in there. Same window. So all I've done there is just recreated that. So it's not magic that that appears there. It's configured in the background. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yep. So I would first of all, I would customize this first confirmation email. Yeah. And then you can go down here and decide what you do and what you don't want. So for instance, you might want to have a 24 hours before appointment reminder. Yeah. In that case, what I would do, rather than reinventing the wheel and reconfiguring that email, I would delete that email out like that. And then grab this one here and make a copy of this one because if I've already set it all up, it's just a minor tweak to make it a 24-hour reminder email. Just copy that and pop it in there just after the timer. Did I put that in there then? Don't think I did I? Hang on. Should paste it like that. Yeah. So the confirmation email now, if that's already been set up as a confirmation, it's just a small minor tweak to make it, hey, we've got a call in 24 hours or tomorrow, whatever you want to say there. You just change that to 24-hour reminder. Reminder like that. Yeah. And you can just work your way through really. There's these timers here. Again, as I said before, it's not like a traditional wait 1 hour, wait 1 day or whatever. Because this workflow knows already the date and time of the event, you can then use this wait you see, this is going to be 1 hour before the meeting. Yeah, it could be 2 days before the meeting. It could be 1 hour after the meeting. So you can fine tune it because the workflow knows its set time is the meeting date and time. It knows that. You just work all your way through here. You want to send a text reminder here, uh, and you've got a phone number in the system. You can send a text reminder as well. You've got the WhatsApp integration. You can send WhatsApp reminders as well. And that's the basics of it, really. The confirmation email. Yeah. And say that covers most bases. That's what Calendly would do. And we can do other things as well. For instance, like I mentioned before, a trigger might be when they're a no-show. You see, confirmed. So if I was to mark them as a no-show now, I could build a whole workflow here, invite them to rebook. So rather than me chasing after them manually, the system could chase after them until they book. Yeah. Uh, well, that was that okay, guys. Any questions so far? So on the setup, quite logical.
Yeah.
So,
Brilliant.
Julian, if you just use the standard recipe that we started on, that would work. You don't need to necessarily customize it all like that.
The only thing to watch out for the standard recipe, if I show you here, which will catch you out, is if I find one of these emails. You see here where I've got the meeting location. Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll drop in your your meeting location. If if you look at one of these here, I've got one here.
But if you've set your default as Zoom or whatever, surely it'll just do that, won't it?
Yeah, but in the template, I'm trying to find you. Here's one here, not changed. You see here, they've sort of put this in here like that, which is not your Zoom.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So I would definitely swap out that. Definitely swap that out. It's caught me out before that when I first started. I would definitely swap that out for the appointment
Appointment. Yeah.
meeting location. And
Yeah.
then that drop in the Zoom or whatever it is.
Gotcha.
The other one just
Okay.
gives you a Zoom link with XYZ. It does not work.
Oh, no. No, good point.
But
Right.
other than that, the rest would work, yeah. Uh, okay, so we'll come out of that.
Can I just ask a question, please?
Yep,
Just that
yep,
there's two sort of sides. You mentioned our dog boarding business earlier. There's two sides to that. One is sort of the meet and greet side where people come along to sort of well, basically meet you. And in that scenario, we wouldn't want appointments to overlap. So we would have a half-hour appointment, maybe like a half-hour gap, another half-hour appointment. But then when people come to book in, we might have multiple sort of dogs staying at the same time. So we would want the appointments to overlap. So do we set up then two different calendars for that?
I've set up two different calendars. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'll do a meet and a greet and a drop off stroke pickup maybe, or you might have a meet and greet.
Hmm.
Then you might have a drop off calendar and a pickup calendar as well.
Right. Okay. And then just moving on to, you said it can obviously charge people through Stripe. Would it be able to work out if, say, for instance, we had a daily rate? Would it be able to work out a drop off time, a pickup time that works out to be 7 days times a daily rate? Would it be able to do that?
We'll come to service calendars next, John. But I think
Right.
at the moment, I think that's a step too far for us at the moment.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I'll show you this. I'll show you the service calendars, which I think eventually it'll get there, but it's not there yet.
Okay.
This only came out, I think, the 25th of August.
Hmm.
This next bit, yeah. But I like your thinking. So let me confirm that. Let me show you the service calendars where they're up to at the moment. So go back to calendars here. So they say here, if I go to new now, so again, you'd have to request this access formulas, yeah? There's a service appointment. Obviously, you can put in the name there. So if I put in, I'm trying to find one of mine here. I don't want to start sending anything by accident. Bob Mills there, yeah. So there's Bob Mills, the email. The services, you can have all different services now. Yeah. So there's MarketerM8 setup, regular or advanced. Yeah. So it's not going to do calculations on number of days or anything, John, yet. Yeah. Coupon code there. Staff member it's going to be with. Yeah. But it can also do facilities as well. So, I mean, I've not played with this yet myself, John, but just show you the basics of where I'm up to here. Yeah. And it's time slot. See, normally a service might be a couple of hours, whereas you're looking for days at a time, which is completely flexible as well. So I don't think at the moment it's going to accommodate your scenario, John. If I choose bear with me a second, I'm just trying to find. That's because I haven't set it up properly myself here. Hang on. I'm still playing with this myself, yep. So if I change that to that one and then look for a time slot. I had this working before. But it should give me options to choose a slot, so it just won't do the custom. Maybe we could look further at your case, John, at some point. Just haven't used this myself in anger yet. This new feature,
Yeah, 'cause
but
I would have thought whether it's hours or days, the principle would be the same, wouldn't it?
yeah, I mean, I think you'd have to set it up as a service, a
Yeah.
a 1 day stay, a 2 day stay, a 3 day stay.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's like. So if I come back to here, there's one I set up earlier. But if you go to calendar settings here, now just so you know, yes, if you go to meetings here, yeah, you'll see service calendars V1. So that was the old way of doing it. Yeah, so I guess that's going to get phased out. So that's the old way. Don't mix up the two. This is the new way. Services here. And you see here, you can have staff, resources. So I put a van. Maybe in your case, John, you'd have, I don't know how you class it as uh, different types of I don't know, because how many dogs can you have? Is it 11 at a time, John? Yeah, yeah. So maybe it's dog one, dog two, dog three. We'd have to work it out. And then add-ons, you can have different. Maybe you'd have the regular dog stay and the VIP dog stay option. Locations, I was starting to play with this myself, having sort of the Stockport address and the London office address. So I don't think it's quite there to do exactly what you want to do yet, John, and do especially to do the calculations and with regards to fees and costs. So say if anyone's got any use cases for this functionality, happy to explore it with you guys because I say I haven't had a use case to use it in anger myself yet. But again, and I was checking this earlier, if you go to, again, once the service is booked, go to the automation, and we can, I'll show you the other way of doing or creating a workflow. Then go to automation. So if you wanted to set up a workflow from scratch, this is how you do it. Create a workflow, start from scratch. And you can see here again, when a service is booked, we can trigger it. So new trigger, by type service booking. Again, it's the same principle. Select, insert type of service is selected. Yeah. Make sure we tell it when it's confirmed. It's really important. Uh, appointment status, it's got to be confirmed. Equally, if someone cancels an appointment, you can trigger automation as well. If they're a no-show, if it's a new one, yeah. No, it's confirmed is the most important one. And then again, you can start to build out with emails, your confirmation message. The send email, that can be a blank start. You get the idea. It's very similar. The templates give you some copy in there to get you started. But yeah, so you could handle both regular sort of one-to-one meetings and service follow-up as well. Any questions, guys?
Julian, just quickly with that. So with the services, do you need to set that up as a product or something beforehand? Like you've got something to sell.
No, it just lives in here. Yeah, it just lives in here. To take the payment for that. You don't need a product setting up in the e-commerce or anything.
So there is a section I've put in I think products so that you can drop them into things like proposals. Is it the similar? Is it drawing from a similar menu to that, or is it just literally a service menu?
I think it's I think well, as far as I'm aware, because that's a good question actually. As far as I'm aware, I'd have to check. It's separate to all that. Yeah, it's just if someone books a call or a meeting, it's taking payment for it.
Yeah, because that's incredibly useful. Um, I could certainly use that.
Oh, a couple of things to show you as well. So here, just there and that. Yeah, on the services. Again, this is where I think it'll improve over time. If you go to services, calendars. Go to services here, yeah. So this is your booking page. So at the moment, you've got no control over this. If you've got five different services, they'd all be listed here. Yeah. Uh, which is it's not you can't really customize a page much. It's just going to be those 5 or 10 services or whatever just listed out there. Doesn't give you much flexibility.
Mm.
Okay, and again for the actual in-person calendars, we've got the same sort of group facility where you can have all your meetings together, yeah, like that. I found that quite restrictive because it's not very friendly looking to use a page like that, I find. So at the moment on the services, that's what it is. There's no other choice. You can't embed these anywhere. They just live on that page.
Mm.
Okay, so a bit limiting that as well. However, if you go to the meetings here, again, similar, we can have a group of meetings. You might have 4 types of meetings on one page, but it doesn't look the prettiest. You can't customize a copy around it. But we have got more flexibility here because what we can do on each calendar here, click on here like so, edit calendar. Sorry, not edit calendar. You see share calendar. So in addition to having the link, you might include that link in emails going out or a button on your website to book a call. In addition to that, we can also have, where is it? Embed code. Yeah. So we can take that code and embed it on a web page. So you might want to build a friendly web page with a calendar built in. Yeah. I'll give you a couple of example of that. So on our page here, you go to demo. So that's the calendar built in, embedded on the page. Yeah. If you want to group a calendar, if you want to group calendars so customers can choose a different type of meeting, then I say this doesn't work for the service calendars yet, but then I just built a page, the old landing page in the system. You've probably seen this before. So again, getting away from the default group one, which is very clunky, very basic. In the high level funnel, I was able to create this web page and have 4 different options. And when you click onto one of these, you go to a sub page, and all I've done on that sub page then is just embedded the calendar on there. So I create like a little micro site for booking calls. So I can just make it look friendlier. I can put videos on there, I can customize it like that. That's a nice little trick. It took me about half a morning to do that. It's pretty plain, built in the websites and funnels. Again, we've got another workshop for that. But I quite like that way rather than having the clunky group one. I can show you that properly here. Where have I got groups on here? Groups. Oh, I can't find it now. Service calendars. I did have a group, yeah. That one there. I can't even find the group. There's an option to get a link to the group, but say it's very plain and white. You can't dress it up any. Um, that's all my points, guys. Unless you got any more questions or want to explore your use cases. Be okay down there,
Yeah.
Steve? I think at the bottom of my screen.
Yeah, no, that's fine. No, that's fine.
Yeah, okay. Atticus, you got anything to add? You've seen these a few times now.
No, nothing's bad from me.
Okay, then. So, from my point of view, I've covered everything I wanted to do today. If there's nothing else, really, we'll call it a day. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's good.
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. So,
Thank you very much. Very useful.
I just want to show you the new services. So, at least that's made it available. Do you want me to enable that for you, John? The services?
Yes. Yes, please.
Enable services. Yeah. You can play with those, and as soon as you're ready, John, to move forward, you want any more
Yeah.
help with the dog boarding, we'll move on that.
Yeah. Lovely.
Okay, and the next workshop next week, I believe, Atticus, is going to be is it the appointments? No, not appointments.
Sales pipelines and opportunities.
So this time next week, it's sales pipelines and opportunities covering. So that was a recording of today's workshop on the appointments and calendars. You should see a QR code now where you'll be able to book a call with us if you need to speak to us, and also to book on to the following next live workshop.